If they got one ring here, they're 20% stress. 2 rings, 40% stress. 3 rings, 60% stress. 4 rings, 80% stress. How iridology can detect stress levels. In many cases, you may have come across this video and you would say, what the hell's iridology, right? Well, let me tell you, iridology is an amazing art, and it's actually called the science of iridology, okay? I first came across iridology in 1976 with a very famous and intelligent chiropractor in Adelaide, South Australia. Now, I was my lower back. You got your lumbar, you got your cervical here, and then you got the thoracic, and you got the lumbar here. This spot, my lumbar was playing up because I'd been a year in Vietnam, fighting with the Special Forces of America and the American military, and the Australian military. And my back was playing up because I used to come out of helicopters and 5-10 feet up and jump up, and 80 pounds of equipment would just slam me in the back. So I heard about this chiropractor in Adelaide, and I went to see him, and remarkably, he sat me down on the couch, and he got a torch and a magnifying glass, and he looked in my eyes for quite a while, about 4 or 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, and he said, yep, I know what the problem is. And amazingly, he laid me down and he went straight to my lower back here, and he was able to manipulate it. And within 5 or 6 minutes, I felt so much better. I was so amazed what we had done. I said to him, I said, Dr. Tony Human, how did you discover my back exactly where the problem was? I didn't tell you where it was. He said, well, I see that to your irises. And I said, what is that called? He said, iridology. I said, I've never heard of it. Anyway, in the end, he ended up lending me a book about this big on iridology. And I was so amazed by the information in there that a whole week I read the book from about 10 o'clock at night till 2 in the morning. And I went back the following week and I gave it back to him. And I started learning iridology 1976 onwards. And I started practicing it. Within a year, I was so advanced with it, and I was able to help over 28 to 35,000 people so far, right? Remember, from 1976 till now, right? 2024. So what were the conditions he looked at? In the actual, the stress levels, I'm going to describe it to you. This is the pupil. This is the iris. The iris is the colored part of the eye. That could be brown, it could be blue, it could be green, it could be hazel, it could be black, right? And it could even be purple, like some of the former Egyptians were purple eyes. So that's the iris. And then this bit here, the white, is called the sclera. And that's another science, the science of sclerology, okay? Now, we use all the sciences, sclerology, iridology, the pupil, and so on, to discover the stress levels, right, of a patient, okay? Now, in this particular eye, that's a real genuine eye we took a photo on. In this eye, you'll see down here, there's one ring around it in the iris, 1 ring, 2 rings, 3 rings, 4 rings. That person has got 4 rings in the iris, the area of the iris here. There's 4 rings all the way around. Now, if someone's got 4 rings, let me start with 1. If someone's got no rings, usually they're not as stressed as they could be. If they've got 1 ring here, they're 20% stress. 2 rings, 40% stress. 3 rings, 60% stress. 4 rings, 80% stress. 5 rings, this one's got 4, right? 4 rings. So 5 rings is 80% stress plus 20%, 100%, okay? Now, at that point in time, that gives us the ability to talk to the person for 10, 15 minutes about their problems that they think of, right? And often, I discovered that along the way, often these rings can go back to the father of the patient and the grandfather of the patient, and even the great-grandfather, they've all been stressed, and as they've genetically produced someone, the genetics have transferred across, including the worry lines, the stress rings. Amazing, right? But we can stop that bad pathway by giving them right B-complex vitamins, a product called Cell Essentials, which is antioxidants and multiminerals. We can also give them Magnecal D, which is magnesium, calcium, vitamin D, and many other products we can tap into to relieve the stress level in that person's body and brain. Okay. Now, if you like the video and you see what, just like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also go to the QR code in there, and you can ask for the books that we recommend, explaining about how iridology work. And in particular, we would recommend this one here, called What Your Eyes Can Reveal About Your Health. There's about 15 pages of really interesting information in there. You can read that, download it, it's free. You can also get this one, The Benefits of Having an Iridology Consultation. Now, once you've accessed that, to be able to get on the phone, speak to us for 15 minutes. We're going to give you a further explanation about how we can reduce your stress levels no matter how and what it's caused by. And then at that done, we'll give you an idea about, the time you need. Probably we should spend 2 hours. So my partner and I, we spend 4 hours. It's 2 hours each. Now you go to a doctor, you'll pay £80 for 10 minutes. We do 2 hours each, that's 4 hours. And we do it at a very, very much reduced price for that amount of time given. We've helped thousands and thousands of people worldwide to recover from their stress level because we know exactly how to photograph the eyes. We then speak to them, and then we recommend the appropriate path, and we recommend the right vitamins, the right minerals, and the right attitude, better sleep, and so on and so on. So we look forward to speaking to you and giving you help in your emotional level reduction.